And let's see what happens.
Oh, we're getting
Great Facebook video. Great Facebook video today. That was awesome.
Oh, thank you, Corky.
You too, Bill.
Thank you, Corky, and I second that, Robert.
Everyone can second everybody. Great to have Professor Dr. Scranton back, Dr. Dana back.
Hope you had a good time off there, Dana.
Yeah.
Hey,
Doc.
He's out making sure his wife and his family's happy by supporting dogs everywhere. So.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and get going. If I can ask everybody who is unmuted to mute themselves, that would be most appreciated. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Does he know he's muted?
Not when I started.
I'm sorry, everyone. I'm sorry, everyone. Every once in a while, Craig got his toes, you know.
Awesome. Well, bless you and thank you, everybody, so much for taking time out of your busy schedule. Let's get going. It is Mastering the Science of Getting Rich with Robert Hollis, and we thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to be a part of this, to join us. And as we start to wrap up Mastering the Science of Getting Rich, because we are going to be doing chapter 16 and one more chapter tomorrow, chapter 17. So we got lots to wrap up here. And if you haven't, please go to roberthollis.com/YouTube and you can find all 15 chapters that we've gone through previously. So you can, well, I don't know if you can catch up all in one day, but get close. If not, go back over it and definitely rewatch the chapters because masterminding here is so incredible. You know, we get the opportunity to mastermind with someone who loves helping people to go to the next level. This is one of his recommended readings. And oh my gosh, what a great way to get better in life, to go to the next level. And this book by Wallace D. Wattles, written in 1910, is still so relevant today and tomorrow and the next day. So please, we'll make sure that the link is posted in the chats and also in the description. Look for it, read the book, watch our videos about masterminding here with the Science of Getting Rich with Robert Hollis, and let's go to the next level together. Before we get started, I just want to remind those of you watching on YouTube to please like this video, share this video, and please subscribe to our channel. I just spoke with Robert a little bit before we went live here, and we are excited about things that are going to be coming up in the near future. The content is going to be amazing. Sorry, I guess I'm a little excited here. It's phenomenal what we've got coming out in the future, and we appreciate you being here and enjoying us and joining us too, because it's going to benefit everyone who's here. How many, let me get a show of hands, how many people are enjoying right now the science of getting rich in the way that we are mastering it? Awesome. Thank you all so much. And again, like, share, and subscribe. So without further ado, let's get started. The gentleman that I'm going to introduce to you has been involved with coaching, with guiding, with mentoring for many, many years. He does it so well that he has, you've got what, 66 millionaires right now and working on number 67?
Correct.
Okay. So success leaves clues and documentation beats conversation. This man has it. And he loves to help people get ahead, move forward, become better than where they are today and tomorrow. So let's get started. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome, helping us with Mastering the Science of Getting Rich, Chapter 16, some cautions and concluding observations, Robert Hollis.
Craig, thank you so much. And yeah, I'm more excited about the future and what we're doing with this. It's like one of the things is even though the book was written in 1910 and we're finishing up the summary and also cautions and stuff for this chapter, you know, what I know with the help of each and every one of you that has participated on one or more of these live sessions, I need to personally thank you. Thank you. Because where two or more, one or more, two or more are gathered, there is in the midst. And we all, every one of you have helped me bring this book into 2023. You really, truly have. And so if there's people that I believe, and with all my heart, that we're going to see these videos hit millions and millions of views. People don't know about it yet, but I think that each and every one of you, and we can probably talk about that a little bit tomorrow as well, is that each and every one of you being part of this mastermind, you got to learn to edify and promote that thing, right? Because you hear people that are all saying, hey, you need to be in a mastermind. And people go, oh my God, I wish I was in a mastermind. You guys have been participating in this mastermind this entire time. And for you to be able to say, hey, listen, me along with some other people and a think tank brought, you know, the mastery of the science of getting rich into 2023. And here we are, you know, so it's pretty amazing. So let's go ahead and get started. And we'll finish this up strong. So here we go. Yeah, and just was saying that, don't you guys think it's pretty interesting that, you know what, it was just a few days ago, 21 videos ago, and we almost have 3,000 views. So if you guys are trying to figure out how to build a YouTube channel, I think I showed you. I'm trying to show you, right? So let me go ahead and we'll cover this chapter.
Chapter 16, some cautions and concluding observations. Many people will scoff at the idea that there is an exact science of getting rich. Holding the impression that the supply of wealth is limited, they will insist that social and governmental institutions must be changed before even any considerable number of people can acquire a competence. But this is not true. It is true that existing governments keep the masses in poverty, but this is because the masses do not think and act in a certain way. If the masses begin to move forward, as suggested in this book, neither governments nor industrial systems can check them. All systems must be modified to accommodate the forward movement. If the people have the advancing mind, have the faith that they can become rich and move forward with the fixed purpose to become rich, nothing can possibly keep them in poverty. Individuals may enter upon the certain way at any time and under any government and make themselves rich. And when any considerable number of individuals do so under any government, they will cause the system to be so modified as to open the way for others. The more men who get rich on the competitive plane, the worse for others. The more who get rich on the creative plane, the better for others. The economic salvation of the masses can only be accomplished by getting a large number of people to practice the scientific method set down in this book and become rich. These will show others the way and inspire them with the desire for real life, with the faith that it can be attained, and with the purpose to attain it. For the present, however, it is enough to know that neither the government under which you live, nor the capitalistic or competitive system of industry can keep you from getting rich. When you enter upon the creative plane of thought, you will rise above all these things and become a citizen of another kingdom. But remember that your thought must be held upon the creative plane. You are never, for an instant, to be betrayed into regarding the supply as limited or into acting on the moral level of competition. Whenever you do fall into old ways of thought, correct yourself instantly. For when you are in the competitive mind, you have lost the cooperation of the mind of the whole. Do not spend any time in planning as to how you will meet possible emergencies in the future, except as the necessary policies may affect your actions today. You are concerned with doing today's work in a perfectly successful manner and not with emergencies which may arise tomorrow. You can attend to them as they come. Do not concern yourself with questions as to how you shall surmount obstacles which may loom upon your business horizon, unless you can see plainly that your course must be altered today in order to avoid them. No matter how tremendous an obstruction may appear at a distance, you will find that if you go on in a certain way, it will disappear as you approach it, or that a way over, through, or around it will appear. No possible combination of circumstances can defeat a man or woman who is proceeding to get rich along strictly scientific lines. No man or woman who obeys the law can fail to get rich, any more than one can multiply 2 by 2 and fail to get 4. Give no anxious thought to possible disasters, obstacles, panics, or unfavorable combinations of circumstances. It is time enough to meet such things when they present themselves before you in the immediate present, and you will find that every difficulty carries with it the wherewithal for its overcoming. Guard your speech. Never speak of yourself, your affairs, or of anything else in a discouraged or discouraging way. Never admit the possibility of failure or speak in a way that infers failure as a possibility. Never speak of the times as being hard or of business conditions as being doubtful. Times may be hard and business doubtful for those who are on the competitive plane, but they can never be so for you. You can create what you want, and you are above fear. When others are having hard times and poor business, you will find your greatest opportunities. Train yourself to think of and to look upon the world as a something which is becoming, which is growing, and to regard seeming evil as being only that which is underdeveloped. Always speak in terms of advancement. To do otherwise is to deny your faith, and to deny your faith is to lose it. Never allow yourself to feel disappointed. You may expect to have a certain thing at a certain time and not get it at that time, and this will appear to you like a failure. But if you hold to your faith, you will find that the failure is only apparent. Go on in the certain way, and if you do not receive that thing, you will receive something so much better that you will see that the seeming failure was really a great success. A student of this science had set his mind on making a certain business combination which seemed to him at the time to be very desirable, and he worked for some weeks to bring it about. When the crucial time came, the thing failed in a perfectly inexplicable way. It was as if some unseen influence had been working secretly against him. He was not disappointed. On the contrary, he thanked God that his desire had been overruled and went steadily on with a grateful mind. In a few weeks, an opportunity so much better came his way that he would not have made the first deal on any account. And he saw that a mind which knew more than he knew had prevented him from losing the greater good by entangling himself with the lesser. This is the way every seeming failure will work out for you. If you keep your faith, hold to your purpose, have gratitude, and do every day all that can be done that day, doing each separate act in a successful manner. When you make a failure, it is because you have not asked for enough. Keep on, and a larger thing than you were seeking will certainly come to you. Remember this. You will not fail because you lack the necessary talent to do what you wish to do. If you go on, as I have directed, you will develop all the talent that is necessary to the doing of your work. It is not within the scope of this book to deal with the science of cultivating talent, but it is as certain and simple as the process of getting rich. However, do not hesitate or waver for fear that when you come to any certain place, you will fail for lack of ability. Keep right on. And when you come to that place, the ability will be furnished to you. The same source of ability which enabled the untaught Lincoln to do the greatest work in government ever accomplished by a single man is open to you. You may draw upon all the mind there is for wisdom to use in meeting the responsibilities which are laid upon you. Go on in full faith. Study this book. Make it your constant companion until you have mastered all the ideas contained in it. While you are getting firmly established in this faith, you will do well to give up most recreations and pleasure and to stay away from places where ideas conflicting with these are advanced in lectures or sermons. Do not read pessimistic or conflicting literature or get into arguments upon the matter. Do very little reading outside of the writers mentioned in the preface. Spend most of your leisure time in contemplating your vision and in cultivating gratitude and in reading this book. It contains all you need to know of the science of getting rich, and you will find all the essentials summed up in the following chapter.
It's a fact. In the new
Okay, you guys, this is one of my favorite all-time chapters. And I think that some of you can see why. I loved when it said in there, another kingdom. I don't know if some of you have heard this or what you think about it, but this whole concept of heaven on earth. You know, for those of you that are religious, it tells you how to pray. And when it says to allow what happens there to be here, on heaven as it is on earth. And there's people that live on this planet that every single day is heaven on earth. They are not anxious and scared that they got to get their stuff in a pile before the second coming comes, if you believe that. They just know that the next level will be better, but why can't I make heaven on earth happen now? And it all starts with our perception. Bruce Lee used to beat people up and say this when he heard something coming out of their mouth. He goes, don't ever joke in a joking way. Do not say anything out of your mouth that can destroy you. While people constantly walk around and go, I can't do this and I can't do this. And why does this happen to me? And I can't get unstuck and I just can't figure this out. And you just don't realize that every thought that turns into a word also turns into action. And if each and every day you're going to create a lifestyle of just uttermost unhappiness, ugliness, negativity, that you reap what you sow. Throughout the chapters of this book, it talks about sowing seeds, and those are thoughts and faith. And if you're sowing seeds that are weeds, that are garbage, that are lies about yourself and the world, then you also get that harvest. When people don't understand that the laws work for negative people and they work for positive people. And you constantly are saying, I'm never going to learn this. It takes forever. I need this training. I need this. When you read this chapter and you find out, no, that's a lie, another lie. And so the other thing I love about this is that in my life, I've shared with you what this book has allowed me to do is look at every tragic thing that happened in my life as a thing that happened for me, that it made me who I am today. If everything went perfect in my life, had incredible parents, they're always there for me, money was never an issue. Money was never an issue. I got to do whatever I wanted to, whenever I wanted to. No one would frickin' know who I was. I feel more sorry for people that have not gone through struggles and people that haven't been taken to their knees. Why do we always say that a person is taken to their knees? They got knocked down. Is because from being through struggles and going through obstacles and going through trauma shaped who you are. And now I look at everything. Did it take me a while to look at being a kid going from foster home to foster home was a good thing? Did it take me a while to look at every abusive thing that ever happened in my life as a good thing? Hanging around the wrong people and being incarcerated in a federal penitentiary at the age of 18? Going through a divorce? Getting hurt and losing my career and my identity? Having companies, once I created something new to do, and find a way to teach other people to be the best person they could be, and then basically utilize opportunities to make them free for the rest of their lives. And yet when I built those companies with that philosophy, they would go out of business, they would get bought, they would get destroyed. Are you guys listening to me? And I can look back at every place because of my faith, because of my thinking a certain way, that every year of my life just kept getting better. It keeps getting better and better and better. The houses that I believe that I could live in, I've lived in better homes. The vacations I believe I've taken better vacations. Everything that I imagined when I was young, listen closely, I couldn't have dreamt them because they weren't created yet. Can I say that again? So this whole concept, there's this group of people, that song from Garth Brooks, thank God for unanswered prayers. Because when I think back to my life and exactly what I dreamt about or had visions that at that time, oh my God, I would have cheated myself in every area of life. If God gave me what I wanted at the time I wanted it, I could have been like the rest of the world and been comfortable and turned into a conformist and been complacent. If I got everything I wanted, I might lose my desire. Oh, that's crazy. But I fell in love with this concept of helping other people. And by going through all the traumatic things that I've gone through, no one can tell me, Robert, you don't understand. Like you're an idiot. I can meet them exactly where they are because I've lived the life that I've lived. So what if you looked at everything that tragically happened in your life, everything that negative happened in your life, everything that has happened in your life today has created you for this moment? Me and Matt had this conversation today, and I was just blown away that, don't you guys realize, I don't know if I covered it in this series, probably not, because I'm bringing it up now. But when I learned from someone that was wiser than me, and they said, Robert, a third. And I'm going, what do you talk about? regardless of what you do in life, there's a third of people that will never, ever know you're even doing it. And they're not even interested that you are doing it. Do you guys realize there's some people out there that whatever you love, whatever you're passionate, whatever you believe in, they believe in the total opposite. And I don't think we would have known that if it wasn't for the internet. See, now that we have an internet and social media, are you guys aware of people that don't think like you? They don't believe like you. And there's a small group in each one of these thirds that are radical, and they will fight you to your death. They believe who you are and what you stand for needs to no longer exist on this planet. And there's radicals in all third. So when you first figure out the stuff that we're trying to share with the world, Matt shared this with me. And how many people watched or heard that Matthew McConaughey did something with Tony Robbins? Do you guys realize there's an entire audience out there right now that says, wow, did you see the coked up Matthew McConaughey dreaming about all kinds of stupid stuff? See, there's a third of people that believe that Matthew McConaughey is a fake person, that he gets coked up, he acts like an idiot, and that he's the stupidest thing that ever hit this planet. Do you guys find that interesting or just sad? Just, it is what it is. You really don't need to put too much thought into it. Then you got the other third of the people that, so we got two groups, right? So one group that's never going to know that they are never going to know. I shared this on the video I did today, fulfillment. It's hard for me to believe that there's people in America, in major cities in America, that have never experienced the internet. See, that's easy to say for people that live in a third world country where they don't even have electricity. See, we can understand why those people haven't been exposed to the internet. But do you guys realize out of 8 billion people, there's only been 2 people that even know what the internet is? So that means that we got a lot of people that we're going to impact, right? And so that is a key. So we got the people that don't know that they don't know. We got the people that are the posers, that they think just the opposite of us. And that's why the media can play this propaganda game against, the people that hate one team versus the other team. And there's the competitive world. Don't we see a majority of the world competing in this competitive world? And I'll tell you where it's the saddest is where people on this video, live or recorded, think for them to be happy, they have to be someone other than themselves. So if I do like so-and-so, then I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be fulfilled. I'm going to have fame. It's like people are all the time being an imposter and faking themselves by trying to be on being somebody else other than figuring out who the hell they are. It's like, what do I want? What would make me happy? What do I love to do? No, everyone's trying to push somebody in somebody else's box. So you're competitive if you want something that someone else has. That's scarcity. That is not abundance thinking. Abundance thinking is what I don't have will be created so that I can have it. And me and Matt, without me going on too much of a tangent here, is there's a big group of people that don't know AI's happening. There's another group of people that think AI is going to destroy the world. And there's other people that are the most excited they've ever been because of AI. Because what if AI figures out that no one needs to work anymore? And some of you are going, yes, I have to work to make money. No, the AI figures out that since money is just a nothing but zeros and ones, that no one really needs to profit, that there's abundance for everyone. No one has to worry about food anymore because AI figured out how to make sure everyone is totally fed, got clean water. They don't need a job. And people are going, where in the hell are you going? Because could you still service people? Could you use, say no one needs a job anymore because everyone's getting paid what they want to be paid. So no one needs to get a job anymore. Do you think that we could figure out an economy to make that happen? No, we don't have to. It was created in 1910 when he wrote this book. Because if I need horseshoes for my horse, I could go to someone that learned to be a blacksmith by someone that was already a blacksmith. And I could go over there and say, well, you shoe my horses. And he goes, sure. What do you have? Well, I'm a farmer and I love growing corn. So I'll exchange corn and you can shoe my horses. That sounds like a deal. So you could create a craft that you liked and love to do. Do you know people that love creating and building things? See, they wouldn't want to do it for money if they didn't have to. Where could this world go like this chapter says? What if everyone understands a certain way and everyone starts thinking like the advancing person? Did you notice this was the first chapter that he mentioned women? And it was in the thought plane that women weren't in the workplace, but they still could create the home that they wanted, the lifestyle that they wanted, protection for their children, never being without a roof over their head, never worrying about anything. He mentioned it in this chapter because women can create what they want to create in their life, just like men or any other living person. So that's all I got to say. But this chapter really, really makes you stretch your mind of how much of a beautiful world this could be for people if they believed that there was such a world that could be obtained. How big can you dream? So, Craig?
Oh my gosh. I know this chapter, is a perfect segue to go into the summary, which will be tomorrow. And because it takes everything, brings it together, and lays it out for you. I had some thoughts because to me, you share with us a word that is so important when it comes to how we think, how we feel, and how we progress. It's mindset. This chapter is mindset. Now that we've learned all about the science of getting rich, the things that you need to do, the things that you need to apply, the book has for you, holding a positive mindset with what you want and continuing to hold it. That to me is what this chapter is about. And then when he starts talking about don't think about other things, it's like exactly what you said. And I'm going to kind of requote what you shared with Bruce Lee. I was going to say, you hear every word you say. And okay, even Henry Ford, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. So if you keep your faith, hold to your purpose, have gratitude, and do every day all that can be done that day, doing each separate act in a successful manner, what's going to happen? you're going to succeed. Yes, it may take, and he says, it may take certain turns. You may come up to a certain point and then it stalls. And then you may have to make a left turn or a right turn, or maybe neither one of those are available. You just got to go plowing right on through it and say, damn the torpedoes, full steam ahead. But the bottom line is, if you are in that certain way, the idea that you will be rich is there. And it's just following that path, that pattern, the success that the clues leave, and the documentation that's there that beats the conversation. So
Thanks,
wow.
Craig. Great ad. How many people have ever heard the song by John Lennon, Imagine? Okay, I don't think anyone really takes the time to listen to the words. But all the division is created by thoughts. So what religion is better than the other? You know, which government's better than the other? What business model's better than the other? Imagine there's no borders. It's like, and some people are going like, that sounds, thank you. When people start figuring out the concepts of this book, it will eliminate governments. Not that we have to start a revolution to make it happen. But there's a weirdness happening in the world right now that there's people out there that know a lot that are saying, stock market's gone. Stock market's gone. It'll never recover and it's never coming back. Well, if the stock market's gone, then companies no longer have to do everything for fiduciary responsibility. Because if no one owns any stock, then the companies do not need to grow every year. They don't need to raise everything. They don't have to have children building their frickin' product. They don't have to destroy the planet. I don't think people are even in the close, me and Matt were talking today, and I don't even think people are in the ballpark of where they think that the world is going to go. How can people be so upset? I watched an interview with Bill Maher and Elon Musk. And when you hang around people, whether you like Elon or Musk or not, and he's going, well, we got to stop this overpopulation because we're destroying the planet. Scarcity mentality or abundance mentality? Scarcity. And Elon Musk, we could never destroy this planet or ever use all the resources. What? Listen. There's more than enough to go around for everyone. We're never going to run out of resources. And you see Bill Maher, that's in one of these 30-30-30s, right? Not saying anything negative or bad. And he's going, what about water? And Elon Musk said, the planet's 70% water. What are you talking about, water? Yeah, but most of it's salt water. Yeah, and we already discovered a way to be able to take the salt out of the water and make pure water for everyone. We already have the technology. It's already built. It's just, it's not profitable for people. So what if the profit's taken away? Then everyone would have clean drinking water, everyone in the world. See, there's still people on the planet that they'll think abundance about one thing, but they can't think abundance about another. So if you look at everything, you can think everything's changing for me, or you could be one of the ignorant people that don't know anything's happening, or you could look at the other section that hates everything about change. AI is going to destroy the world. I got a clue for all of you, and you're going to get upset when I say this. We're all going to die. We're not getting out of this alive. Nobody's getting out alive. So the propaganda's got to scare us. Oh my God, we're in war with China. Oh my God, we're in the war with Russia. Oh my God, they're all creating a different culture to fight against America. It's like, you're going to die. Every one of us watching this live or recorded, you're going to die. So once you come to grips with that, why not just put as many perfect days on the check mark as we can? I'm going to live. I had a good day today. I had a good day yesterday. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have a good day tomorrow. And what are people called that do this? Oh, you're one of those half full kind of people. Oh, you're one of those optimistic kinds of people. Oh my God, you're one of those guys that think everything is great. Boy, that's so much better than where you live. That I want to keep living here. I want to be the most unrealistic person that people meet. That guy's crazy. He's not even in reality. He's in a different world. Oh, like some religions say that you should renew your mind. That, some people believe it's baptism. Some people, you sprinkle water, but you're supposed to become a new person. And the renewing of the mind to know that everything's okay so we can live heaven on earth. Count me in. Count me in. I want that world. Everything's okay. You never have to worry anymore. Because as the world becomes more divided, I promise you, you'll wish that you picked this world. You'll wish that you just kept reading this book and listening to it over and over and over, slowly renewing your mind to become the person you were created to become. To never, ever say the words out of your mouth again. Well, what would they say? Well, what will they think? Hey, when you realize the majority is 60% of the world, 30, 30, 30, right? So 66%. 66% of the people already think you're a frickin' nutcase. 66% out of 100 people are going, you're out of your frickin' mind. All right. I don't mind being out of my mind. Are you in your mind and that's why your life sucks? I've never said that before. You're out of your mind. Yeah, and you're in your mind. That's the difference between us. You overthink. You think everything's complicated. You think everything's frustrating. It's confusing. You think you got to learn everything. You think you got to be everything. You're never enough. You're not worthy. You're not receiving. That's your world, not mine. Craig, back to you.
Yeah. I think we're just going to go ahead and get started here.
Okay.
Of course, cannot follow that up, and I don't think there needs to be anything following that.
I hope you guys can feel my heart. You know, come live with me. See these, I'm getting big dumps today, right? I don't know the words, but what was downloaded to me right now was the Willy Wonka song. Would you love to live in a world of total imagination? You will find, I don't know the words. I just remember when I heard that song, it sure made me feel good. That a bunch of kids were hanging around where there was no hate, no judgmental, everything was candy. Wow. Maybe that's where little places I went when I was a kid in my life, while everyone was treating me awful. Yeah, I know I'm weird. But I always created a little imagination world around myself where everything was okay. Everything's fine. Because there's always going to be people that don't get it. I'm not even going to call them evil. They just don't know that they don't know. They're doing their best trying to survive on this planet, not knowing what you know. Okay, go ahead, Mary. I gotta keep going.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So first up, we have Mary Martyr. Bill Shoemaker, you're on deck. And I know that we've got Dr. Dana down the road. So if you do have something to share, please raise your hand. It's very simple. Put your cursor in the middle of the screen. At the bottom, there's a button that says reactions. Click on that and then click on raise hand, and it'll notify us to call on you so that you can share with us how you feel about these cautions and conclusions, and then the observations that have been made, and of course, that will be made by our masterminds here. So, Mary Martyr, your hand was up first. Let's go ahead, go over to you. Please unmute yourself and share with us.
Listen, since Friday, my upline and I, now Friday, she's still in Cancun with y'all, okay? So she posts in our group, a couple days left. Robert, thank you. Okay, I'm going to be all over the place, all over the road. I don't have my roadmap, and I'll go as fast as I can. Robert, I was at a very low point last night. I had no one else to reach out to. A little bird in my head said, reach out to Hollis. Thank you. God bless you. Okay, so everything that Robert just said jokingly and the name calling, my upline did that to me, but seriously. Let me see now. I'm a generic person. Yes. Yeah. 3 times. So Friday's post in the group from her was 2 days left to April. Who needs a little bit more help to do this, that, and the other? Okay. So I am like so close to my marks. Friday, 2 days left. She texts me 2 words, green apple. What? Okay. Oh, okay. Saturday morning, she posted.
How did that make you feel? Being called a green apple.
Like a piece of shit. Excuse me. I know.
Really motivated you, didn't it?
Oh, honey, I got on my horse. Yeah. Not in her direction though. Yeah, I had the back end of the horse facing face. Yeah. So the next morning in the group, she's posting that today, and it's already happened, that there's going to be 2 different Zoom groups for Marketplace. There's going to be the generic group for my generic people. Excuse me?
I
Yeah.
didn't tell you, Mary. Don't get mad at me, but the new series that we're doing next week
Yeah.
is for vanilla people. I'm joking.
I know you are. I know you are. Oh my God in heaven. So, I made a few comments.
How many people, Mary? I'm sorry. I'm just being led here. How
No.
many people know that Mary really doesn't have to say anything else? We know exactly what's going on in her heart. Not her,
Thank you. Thank you.
not her head. But there's a group of people in here that goes, yeah, I've been treated that way. I know exactly what you're talking about. It's like, hey, you're either going to buy some product or you don't exist to me.
Yeah. So I was contemplating whether I should attend the Zoom earlier this afternoon for us generic people. Oh, and the 2 comments that I put in the group Saturday, were kind of one was a question and one was a comment, dichotomous to her competitive framework mindset, right? She deleted both comments.
Yes.
Okay, so just to humor myself, I already had my nap. That's the most important thing I do in the afternoon besides hang out with you guys. So I go to her Zoom and she's telling, there's 20 people, only 1 guy, all ladies. And the energy of the herd mentality jumped. I mean, from my monitor in my face. It was like, oh my God in heaven. Okay, so she tells us all about the new products for Marketplace, and she's demonstrating and la la la. Very nice, very nice. And then she says, okay, I'm almost done. So for the rest of the time until a couple of days before Mother's Day, the only thing I want you to do is sell the Mother's Day sale.
Let me paint a future for some of you non-generic people, but let's get back to you buying stuff.
Oh my, I'm telling you, the competitive mind is so repulsive to me.
Yes.
Always has been. But I didn't know that that's what it was. I didn't.
You're aware. You're aware now.
Oh, yeah. Well, what we're doing now is my 15th reading and studying of this. And for over 100 days, I mean, I can count the stars on my calendar if you want. I know it's over 100 days. Every morning, I read the last chapter. I can probably recite it by heart.
That's why things are changing with you.
Oh, and my Lord.
I love that you brought this up, Mary, in this chapter. Craig, what's the name of this chapter again?
Some cautions and concluding observations.
So now that we've done this mastermind, seeing the rest of the world and how they are not should not take you out of your space.
Correct.
Yeah. So some of us are addicted to drama. So now that we all of a sudden got this heightened awareness, then we believe that we should talk about people that are unaware. and the damage that they're doing to themselves and the damage they're doing to possibly the company or the damage that they're doing to other people, right? You reread this chapter and it says, don't worry about that stuff. We got it.
Right. Exactly. So what you and I,
you do you, and don't spend any time in that propaganda game. Don't spend any time talking about the negative stuff that the internet was supposed to do to the world. Guys, don't you guys realize there's a couple of conversations? I've seen posts about it, but man, I remember people preparing. How many of you realize that I'm pretty human on these? I've been very, very human. I'll tell you everything that's going on in my life, so then you don't have to hear it from somebody else. It'll never be a surprise, right? I'll just give you all the stuff that you need. Me knowing this much about computers, when the Y2K thing was coming around, I pulled all of my money out of the bank. Because computers couldn't figure out what 000 was. No one ever figured out that computers could be around in 2000. So does anybody of you remember the prepping that was going on for Y2K? No power, no money, no jobs, no electricity. It's gone. And I'm sitting in Montana and it's Happy New Year and I'm watching my watch and I'm seeing my alarm clock still on. And I'm watching the celebration in New York. I'm watching it everywhere. Why? There should be, but there's not, Mary. There should have been a website put out that showed everyone that said that the world was going to end on Y2K. So we can go, remember not to listen to that person. Remember not to listen to that person. Remember not to listen to that person. No, but they keep doing it to us. They keep doing it to us. It's like, Y2K freaked them out a little bit. Maybe they won't be so aware anymore. Maybe they won't take the time to be positive. What's the next thing? You know, when I have conversations with Matthew, Mary, you know, I'm 61 and we lived in North Dakota. It was the first state in the United States that would be taken off the map because of the nuclear power we have in North Dakota. So we had drills every day. Siren go off. We got to hide underneath our desk because this will protect you from a nuclear hit. What? But that's how they scared us back then. It was called the Cold War. It was called the Cold War. So if it's not division on who's going to get elected, if it's not China going to figure out how to get us, and now, oh my God, Russia's going to get us. And it's like, they got to keep us in this constant scared mode to not be aware. I don't know if you guys love this guy. He's pretty crude. He says a lot of language that you shouldn't say. He's known for being the guy that brought the language on air. George Carlin. And you might think he's filthy and talking, but you watch his videos and it's like every time there's a little turbulence going around, more people see him now than when he was alive. Because he's going like, what is wrong with you people? Don't you see this? And we were like, how could we possibly have a school system where the kids that are graduating from school today are less intelligent than they were when anybody else graduated? It's like you got teachers resigning, you got professors resigning. They're like, I don't want to have my name attached to being an educator. And how do you make sure they don't care? Pay them nothing. Pay them nothing with no praise and recognition. Make them teach stuff that's 200 years old so that these people can be more relying on the governmental assistance than anybody. So, Mary, I'm sorry I hijacked your.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
And it's like as soon as you can say, "Oh, pulled me out of my joy," pulled me out of my joy. You know, what's the Disney cartoon, Craig, that Joy was in? When it first came out, there was joy and anger and I forget.
Oh, Inside Out.
Inside Out.
That's a great film.
Oh my God. So now we get to actually identify the cartoon characters that are in our head. And when it came out, Craig, tell everybody, if Melody was on here, she would say it. But I was posting joy everywhere. If I'm not doing Dancing Snoopy during that time, I was posting joy. Joy. That's a decision. That's a mentality. That's a mindset. That's a place that I'm going to live. So just, if you haven't seen Inside Out, it would be really interesting to realize that people just don't think that they're used to being triggered. They're used to being victimized. They're used to being mistreated. It's like that thing when we're kids that everyone goes, if you stop pestering Mary, she wouldn't be that way. And if kids could talk, they would go, that's why I pester her. Oh my God. I pester another kid and it's like nothing. I pester Mary. Holy, do you see her reaction? She goes off. She's like gonna. What if no one triggered you to a point, Mary, where you went from, no, I'm not going to comment, to, I'm not going on this page anymore. I'm not going on in this group anymore.
Yes. And yes.
To another place where you block and delete them and you're not thinking about them anymore. And then
Yes.
that you actually, people don't realize that they actually have a channel on Facebook. You know what I mean? That you could go away from the propaganda opinion people that are trying to scare the hell out of you, telling you everything is not what it is. And they're excellent at it. They're excellent at it. Why? They have a following of 30 million people because they're saying exactly what they wish they could say. Their beliefs and how they were raised and who they hang around is, oh my God, this person is saying what I want to say to the world. So I'll just become a subscriber and watch their show to watch them go off on everybody I don't like. And wait a minute. There's someone on the opposite side that's doing the same damn thing. So come on to my network. I'm coming on at 7:30, and I'll just tell you all the stuff that you wish you had the guts or the space to say it in. So
I do would like to say that in the 15, 16 days that we've been working together here, masterminding, there goes Luna. I've been able to pivot faster or quicker. And also I don't know how this came into my head, but before I respond to a trigger now what I say in my head is, what would love do?
Yeah. Yeah.
What would love do?
Why
And-
would I give an individual a situation or event to allow me to lose my joy?
Mhm.
Because do you guys realize, and I know that you do, the reason for the scriptures in all religions that you only need faith the size of a mustard seed is, for one, it's the smallest seed on the planet. Two, with faith and joy, you can have fear and worry and anger. It's like you can't do both. It's like the joke we used to say in our family is you can't be upset riding a wave runner. You know, we go on trips on the water and everyone gets on wave runners and it's like, and it's like you can't be pissed off on a wave runner. So when you're plugged in and things are happening, I feel the same way on my Harley. It's like when I'm on my Harley and I'm flying down the street or the highway, there's nothing that matters. I don't care about anything. I got a big grin on my face and everything's okay. So I learned to do that without getting on my Harley. So, Mary, thank you for bringing that up. I know that people understand. And here's the thing, the more you work on it, the more sensitive you become. Okay? So things that normally wouldn't trigger you will immediately trigger you because you're more aware.
Yeah.
And your whole persona, who you are, doesn't like to be in that ugly place. It's like you're playing around and everything's great and awesome, and then all of a sudden you get thrown off the merry-go-round. And just for a moment, it hurts. And you're a little upset. You know what I mean? But if you notice how fast children can adjust.
Mhm.
It's like, you know, so it's like, I just got hurt. And then the other kids run from the merry-go-round to the swing set. And it's like, got to wipe these tears away because we're leaving the playground. I got to get some playtime in. And limp all the way over there.
Mhm.
It's like, that's what's so cool about seeing children that have never had their joy robbed away. And that's the joke, isn't it? Where you buy some toy that was, according to propaganda, was going to be the must-have toy that everyone knew if you didn't get this for your grandkids or your children, that you were a piece of garbage. And then you give the present to them and they play with the box. Yeah, it's like, hey, thanks a lot for getting me the toy. I don't think you ever asked me if I wanted it. But the rest of the world told you that I needed it. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, you don't want to be one of the parents or the grandparents that didn't get this toy for your kids. Yeah, well, you guys really realize how much stuff pulls us out of our joy and pulls us out of our peace and love and, again, fulfillment. You know, it's just like, wow, does that matter? Wow, does that matter? And so, Mary, I love and appreciate you, and I'm glad that I was there for you.
Thank you.
But-
Thank you so much, everybody. And I'm
you're
out now.
worthy. You're worthy. You're enough. You deserve it. You deserve to be here.
Thank you.
I love you.
Mary, thank you so very much. A great share.
Thank you, Craig. Thank you.
Okay, Bill, if you're going to pardon me for a moment, please, because John, I see his back in his car, and he's excited about saying something. That smile on his face. There it is. There it is. And I don't know whether he's in between things or not, but if you don't mind, let's get him in since he's in his car, seated and ready to go. So, John Tier, please go ahead, open up and share with us.
All right. Can everybody hear me?
Yes. Hello, my brother.
Hey, I'm fresh off of dealing with the kids. So,
Excellent. How'd that go?
it was quite interesting. There's some definitely busybodies, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's can people really function being that distracted?
Oh my goodness. Oh my, yeah.
Like squirrel.
Yes.
Squirrel.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, I gotta put my big teacher hat back on and be like, okay, here's what we gotta do, So
just make it funnier, make it something that just would grab their attention. Just figure out the little steps that will entertain them.
Yes, that's for sure, man. So I hope we're still on this chapter, cautions and conduction, concluding and observations.
Yes.
Okay. So it was something interesting about this. I wrote some notes in my book. Waddle was very good at understanding human nature. When I read that chapter, I realized, wow, because all the things that he was saying in this chapter are things that are still going on today.
Yes. Yes.
And it's amazing to me that, man, he wrote this in 1910, yet human nature hasn't changed. Government, governments are still subjecting people. People are still believing that the governments are subjecting people. At least they've been, indoctrinated to believe that, unless the government helps me, I can't do anything. And, I always say this thing that, these guys are rich people trying to tell poor people what to do. I understand,
Really?
So nobody's going to ever rescue you. History has already shown you that they're not going to rescue you.
No.
So you need to get a book like this so that you can learn how to rescue yourself, as you like to say, Robert, participate in your own rescue.
Amen.
And so many people have been lulled to sleep to think that somebody else has got to rescue them. And it's unfortunately, but that permeates through our society. It's just like, well, if they're not going to do it for me, then maybe I should go rob, kill, or steal or something,
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I wanted to say. That was it,
Well, hey, for you to pop on and say that in the time that you said it was perfect. I mean, it really, really was perfect. That, wow, the same stuff keeps going on. You know what I mean? The same stuff just keeps going on. It's like, why does it cost so much to live? It's like, no, that's never changed. I remember the first time that someone told me that a gold piece, that the world has made sure that, that you could get like a couple of loaves of bread, you could get a suit of clothing, you could get into education with a gold piece. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So the way that we pay for stuff is that, it just keeps staying around that. Well, why is it worth more than that? Because we want enough people to buy. And when you find out that the monopolies of the world, the big people of the world, they always have something for the poor people. They always have some stuff for the middle people. Mm-hmm. They want to impress the poor people. And then they got the big package for...
Yeah, right.
So people buy this because they have so much money, they want to impress everybody.
Yeah.
So you break down the companies and it's like, wait a minute, I didn't know that this company owned all three of those. It's like, yeah, I'm getting every market.
Oh man, if anybody knows anything about Monsanto, now they were actually bought by Bayer. If anybody knew anything about Monsanto owns everything. When you think about, it used to have that thing about Coke and Pepsi.
Yeah.
And they both were owned by Monsanto. So Monsanto didn't care.
Yeah, it's going to be neat. I'm excited for the future because I know that there's always going to be the 30%, the 33 out of 100 people that are going, is there a way out of this mess?
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
You know, I'm sort of interested in listening to somebody else that's gotten out of this. You know what I mean? That the joke that we always used to tell all the time, John, years ago. It's like sometimes it takes for a phone call, you know, and then a guard knocks on your door and says, you have a visitor, Mr. Tier. And you go out and you get on the phone with the big piece of glass, and I'm on the other side. And you go, wasn't you in here? Yeah, I was.
Right.
Justin just fell down from you. You want to get out? What do you mean? I don't want to get caught. I don't want to serve more years.
Mhm.
I don't want to get dirty. It's like, what do you mean? How can I get out? Listen, I already dug a tunnel. I'll tell you exactly where it is.
Yeah.
And you can be free. Can I think about that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, John.
All righty.
John, thank you so much. Appreciate the share. All right. Before we head over to Bill Shoemaker, just want to remind everybody watching on YouTube to please like and share this video and also subscribe so that you get to see this amazing content, and more is coming. Not just today, not just tomorrow, but down the road. You want to be a part of it. So thank you so very much for joining us and for being here with us. And those of you that are here with us on Zoom as well, for sharing with us who you are and what you're all about. So we got Bill Shoemaker and Dana Scranton with their hands up. Let's go ahead, Bill. Thank you again for being patient. Had to get John in. Let's go ahead. Please unmute yourself and share.
Thank you, Craig. You are amazing. And yeah, John, that was incredible. Thank you, John. John came on my live today as well. So excited, Robert. I mean, you just I could listen to you all day. And every time I go to say something or think about saying something, you say it. It's amazing. And I know you are religious, and I'm not religious, but we think.
Oh, I'm not religious.
Oh, you're not religious. Okay.
No.
I believe in what Jesus taught. That's my religion. So if you call that religion. So excited about being a citizen or citizens of a different kingdom. And that we have, like they used to say in the Bible, or the religious people, got to share the good news, right?
Yes.
We have the good news. You've got the tunnel that you already dug.
Yeah. And just to share that news with every person on the end of the earth, you know, it's just me. I do know it's the good news. There's when I said I'm not religious, Bill, it's when people ask me what religion I'm in, the very first thing that I'd say is, please give me your explanation of what you would like me to be. It freaks them out. Give me a description of what you would like me to be. And they go, what do you mean, what you would like me to be? Well, it's apparently you'll explain to me how I get to be in your box. Because if I'm not in your box, then I'm out of your box. So just give me your definition of the box that you want to put me in. And usually when I do that, they go, I've never heard it that way. And I said, well, so you don't think I'm totally a nutcase? Let me tell you my favorite scripture. My favorite scripture says, do not lean on your own understanding. You're never going to know the depth, the width, or the breadth of my love. So if you and I start having a conversation, Bill, and you tell me that you know something that I don't know, you're a nutcase because you don't believe in the scripture. So the older I get, the more I know that I don't know, the more questions that I have now than I ever felt. And so when someone tries to label me, see, that's what we do as people. If we want to understand something, it needs to have labels on them. Atheist, agnostic, Buddhist, Christian, Baptist, regular Baptist, premium Baptist. It's like, it's like I need to put a label on you, because that's why people that feel like they're created in their creator, and they actually get some pretty inspiring ideas. They know there might be something up there, but as soon as you say, oh, you mean God? No, see, that's a label. I don't believe in God. That guy that's in the chair, he's got his sunset next to him, that no, that's not what God is to me. So Bill, it's fun. We could do a whole deal on this.
Oh, yeah.
Where do you fit in your belief? Because you can walk up to a little child in any religion, because they still have a thing called imagination. And you can say, where's God? Right here. Right in here. And then religion spends the rest of his time telling them that it's out there. And then we'll make it more confusing. We'll say that he's got a son, and then there's also this Holy Spirit. Let's confuse people. And if you're not connected to the Holy Spirit, then you're not in the inner circle. It's like, so even organized religion can put labels on things to make people not understand. When every religion says, you'll never understand. It's a mystery. Then you get Jim Rohn that says, if I were you, I wouldn't take that class. There's so much joy, Bill, and freedom when you can stop labeling people. See, labeling is for us so we can try to understand. So, Bill, who do you like right now that's in Congress or Senate that you think should run for president? As soon as you say a name, then I get to call you a liberal. I get to call you, what is it? They're on both sides. You're a maniac liberal, a maniac Republican, you're moderate, you're conservative. Why is there so many damn labels? And with each label, if you asked everyone to write a description of that label, it's different. I remember learning this from my mentor. That was Roger Penske that taught me that. He said, Robert, listen, don't get offended by other people's opinions or thoughts. And I'm going, are you kidding me? And he's going, Robert, listen, if there was an accident that happened on this intersection, and there was 20 people, some in cars, some's on the street, do you know that they can do an investigation, go to all 20 people, and their explanation of what they seen happen was not the same as anybody's? How could 20 people write a different description on the same damn accident? It's called perception. It's called perception. And if you're wanting the 66% of the people to follow in your pile, then they'll just start splitting those. And to finish this tangent, do you guys know, have you ever heard, this has never happened, by the way, I'm joking, being facetious there, another big word for me. It's like, I'm just making a joke of it, but how it can go from a Baptist religion to a Southern Baptist to a regular Baptist, just using one example, is one day the assistant pastor didn't have the same beliefs as the pastor. As soon as the assistant pastor goes, hang on, Craig. That's not the way that I interpret this passage. Well, you need to fall in line, Robert, or you're not here. All right. Time for me to start a Bible study. And I will turn that Bible study into a following, and I will inspire that following to come out, and we'll call ourselves Premium Baptist. All right. And so if you guys don't know this, I'll get off my tangent. When I was taught this, there were 460,000 registered religions in the United States. Why are they listed? Because they fall underneath the no tax exemption. I'm telling you what, you want to pay taxes and all the money that people are giving you? Yes or no? No, then you need to be a religion. So that's why we know how many they are. And this was taught to me 30 years ago, you guys. So as soon as I see people labeling stuff, not that I'm better than you, it's just that I love working on my awareness level. And I can have conversations with Matt and say, you know, Matt's not religious. So I've even asked Matt this question, Bill. What if you just ask people their question? So if you think you can tap in to awareness that's here right now, or even maybe the thought of awareness that has been here in the past, that there's this thought thing out there that people can plug into. You don't know what it is, but what would you feel comfortable in explaining that? See, so when you just go, hey, if you think there's something out there, there's two groups of people, right? There's people that think that they're random stardust. And now science has proven that there's something that happened before the Big Bang. So you guys are going to have to come up with another story. Because now there's more planets, more galaxies, more universes. See, I don't know, Bill. But if you believe that there's an energy out there, you know, some people call it ether, you know, some people call it 6 cents, 7 cents, or whatever it is. But there's a lot of people, regardless if they believed in an entity called Buddha or Allah or God or Jesus, whatever you want to call it, they don't want to believe in that label because a certain group of people believe in that label and they described it different, but they totally believe that there's something out there. You wouldn't have the Albert Einsteins of the world going, you either believe in miracles or you don't. You either believe that there's a ultimate wisdom or a power of creation that created me, or I'm stardust. And if you're stardust, I'm okay with that too. You know why? I don't know. I just think that you're at a big disadvantage if you're stardust, if you're hanging around with someone that was created by a higher power that's my friend. And he doesn't judge me. He loves me. And he's there to help me. It's like, you know, I'm like, so Bill, thank you for pulling that out of me.
Yes, great stuff, Robert. And you know, we all came into this earth with a terminal disease called birth, and we don't die. As far as I don't know, but I think we're energy, and we go on forever and ever and ever. So why not enjoy it now?
I think people freak out when people say that. They freak out when they go, okay, so Bob Proctor, if you guys know anything about Bob Proctor, he's like, hey, we're all in a meat suit. You know what I mean? we're walking around in a meat suit, and no one wants to believe that there's actually electricity that actually constricts and releases our heart muscle and our lung muscle and our blinking of our eyes. And There's a lot of stuff that's going on without you knowing it's going on. Like you don't have to think about it. And so people that drink too much or do too much drugs get to that core part that stops doing that. And now you're no longer living. The meat suit dies. So how many of you, without going into any more detail, and thank you for bringing this out, have any one of you ever just thought, what is the difference between the body, the soul, the spirit, and the mind? I think a lot of people keep thinking about this stuff because they don't know. So one person's definition of a soul, you know, and we got Corky here. There's people that die never, ever, ever forgetting that there's a Santa. When all history says, you know, that is a made up thing. Yeah, I believe it. What do they believe? Do they believe in the character Santa, or do they believe in the feeling? They believe in the inspiration, the hope that a whole group of people for one moment can think about giving instead of taking. You know, what are the other things that are wrapped around that of why we want to believe in a tooth fairy and why we want to believe in an Easter bunny? It's like, it's really crazy when you think that humanity in just normal want to believe in something that makes them feel good. I'm done.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, so people can say to me, man, well, it sounds to me like this book. I get people that my whole life I've shared this book with them. Well, you know, I talked this over with my pastor and I'm going to label her. No, what do you mean label her? I'm talking about a guy that decided to listen to somebody that is now telling you that the thoughts and beliefs that you could possibly have that others have are not ones that you need to use. That's funny. This book says the same thing. So your pastor said that you shouldn't listen to this book, and this book says you shouldn't listen to your pastor. That ought to be a clue right there. Okay, I'm sorry. So thank you, Bill. I love you, man.
Thanks so much, Bill. Robert, I want to, you brought up, you know, the Easter Bunny and, of course, Santa with Santa Corky here and the Tooth Fairy. If anybody wants to watch a really good movie, I'd recommend Rise of the Guardians, because it does talk about that belief. Yeah. About the child in all of us and how losing that child, that inner child, that belief can just cause everything to go dark. I don't want to give it away because I've just given a little bit of it when I say the word.
What's the name of it again?
Rise of the Guardians. Came out in 2012, and it's basically a story about Santa Claus, the Tooth Fairy, the Easter Bunny, and Sandman.
Oh my God.
Jack Frost to help stop evil.
I say anyone that deals in imagination, that's why people get freaked out when you play with their perceptions. That's why people have to split into the 30-30-30 groups, you know, a third, because I don't like the way this movie made me think. I don't want to think. You know what I mean? I just want to. One of my favorite movies of all times is it'll come back to me in a second. It was Meryl Streep and Albert Brooks and it'll click with me. It's one of those movies that went through the theater so fast.
Defending Your Life?
Defending Your Life. Yeah. That movie, like The Peaceful Warrior with Nick Nolte. It will, like Livingston Seagull. There's movies that make you go, Like Field of Dreams, where you go, what? I don't know how I feel about this. This doesn't make me feel very good. Which is like when you find out that I got 2 mating ducks out my window here. But yeah, it's pretty funny. But yeah, thank you so much, Craig.
Absolutely. And Dana, before I get to you, because we like to wrap up with you, Corky Kinter, or Santa Corky, raised his hand. So I'd like to, if you don't mind, go to him, and then we will come to you. Thank you so very much. Appreciate that. Corky, please unmute yourself and share with us.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited to hear what Dana has to say on this for sure. But Craig, I'm just impressed on how you pull stuff out of the air when I'm thinking, I wonder what he's thinking, what Robert's saying. And you go, this one? Yeah. This one? Yeah. You're amazing. You are absolutely amazing.
He is. He definitely.
I think
is.
Part of my success today in with my social media is with what's going on and what people are listening to, and how I believe we're being manipulated all over the place all the time, because I get a whole different view of a friend of mine that gets a whole other view on his social media. He hears all the stuff he wants to hear constantly, and I hear all the stuff that feeds what I'm doing. But in all that confusion, I know that part of my success is people don't want to hear or feel that anymore. They just want to hear some Christmas music, and for me to put a smile on their kids' face. I go to the store. I went to the store today, and people walk up to me and, hey, can I get a picture with you? They want to feel good. They want to, I said, is it for your grandkids? Yeah, it's for the grandkids. I'd love that. They want to feel better. They want to feel better. And this is something that I'm getting out of this whole process. It's taken me a long time, but I tend to overthink stuff. But it's like I'm going into that other dynamic that what did it just say in there? I'm going to that next level, or that
the new kingdom. Yeah, you're plugging into a new kingdom.
A new kingdom, exactly.
See, now,
exactly.
Corky,
And
I just want to say to you, without interrupting, is why did you leave the kingdom?
because I feel some of my best thinking has gotten me in a lot of trouble. That's why I have the faith that
But that's the overthinking. What I mean is when you came up with the idea of doing the Santa, and then you did that Santa, and you got 1 million followers, did you feel okay and feel joy while you're doing that?
Yes, big time.
So I ask you again, why did you leave the kingdom? You were there.
Well, I'm not saying I'm there because I want to make it bigger.
You were already there. You were already at the promised land. Why did you leave? Because a bunch of people told you that the season changed?
No, I don't understand what you're saying. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I haven't left anything because I still have 1 million followers.
Are you still doing Santa every day?
Every day, yes.
So you're in the right place.
Right, but I want to go to the next level. It's like you said before, I've heard you say, when 1 million followers, that's nothing. That's nothing. That's small.
No,
really.
It's nothing, but it's more than a majority of 9.99 people have.
Right, but
but listen,
I don't have my book here, but I have this one. But,
stop thinking, Corky. What if
I knew this was going to happen?
Santa, why can't you be Santa 7 days a week, 24 hours a day?
I am.
So why do you think that you need to take your place to a different level instead of just pouring more into what you already have?
Say that again?
So your thoughts and your thoughts create feelings,
Yes.
that you need to take everything to the next level.
Oh yeah. No, I want to help Robert Hollis with 25,000 kids. I have to get better. I have a whole it's not a truck, but I have this picture in my mind where your kids, they stand in line getting ready to go. They don't know exactly where they're going, but they step into a building and we got computer monitors all over the place, and it's taking them up in the sky like it's going into a sleigh, and then it's traveling with these computer monitors. These kids believe they're heading somewhere, and the next thing you know, there's Santa's workshop right there, and I go, oh my gosh, we're going to be in there. And I mean, the thing shakes when it stops, and it lifts, and it goes over here, and then the next thing you know, this big door opens up, and they hear me go, come on in here, I have something for you. Bobby or Susie or whatever their names are, and they see the Santa. When you see the kid's imagination, I am real. I'm the guy. And when you look at the mom, and there's tears running down that mom's face because she is that little girl that wished that would have happened to her, but she fulfills that with her own kids. You know,
I'm saying just stay there.
But I want to build my company too, my NBC, because I believe what we're doing. This place that they're going to, I feel like I'm just hanging on to the tails here, because I've got to be a part of this, because this is huge.
Yeah,
what's happening is huge.
Yeah, but because I believe, like you believe, that the world has to make this stuff to happen for us to make our vision come true.
The world has to.
The universe has to alter its place in the world and change so you and I can impact more people. So you're saying I need to take this to the next level, and I'm saying just stay in the pocket. Just stay mentally with the vision that you just shared with everyone here, because when you start coming from your heart and sharing, you had everyone on this video. Everyone was seeing. Raise your hand if you were seeing what Corky was saying. How many people want to get on the ride?
Yeah.
See? So I'm telling you, sometimes we overthink and we think we got to do more when you just got to lean into the feeling that you already have. That's why I was doing something. It's called a pattern interrupt. I did a pattern interrupt with you to say, why did you leave the kingdom? No. And what you did is you proved to me that you're there. I said, why'd you leave? You went, I don't know what you're talking about, but this is what I see. And you built that imagination for me because I told you wasn't there. Stay in that and watch what's going to happen in the next few months and a year. It's all gonna play out for us.
That's what I truly believe that with all my heart, like I've never felt in my whole life. And I just don't feel like I'm doing enough, or I'm not saying enough.
See, you know, stop that. Stop that. Stop that.
That's that old paradigm.
It is. I'm not feeling good right now. Great. Stop it. Craig, you already read my mind, like everyone says. He's already finding the post and he'll put it in here. You know what I mean? So the Bob Newhart little video is the funniest thing in the world, because you can tell he's irritated of listening to people's problems. And all he says, Corky, he says, listen, you only need one treatment. You only need one treatment from me. And I don't take any, credit cards or checks. I just need, $15 from you, whatever the price is. And she goes, okay. And so she gives him $15 and he says, what's your problem? And she says, I'm scared to death of being buried in a box. So buried alive, you're scared of that? Yeah, I am. And he goes, great. Anything else? No, because of that, me scared of being buried alive. I don't go out of my house. I don't have any friends. I'm lonely. I'm depressed. I can't keep a job. It messes with my health. And she just goes on and on and on. He goes, anything else? And she goes, no, that's pretty much it. He goes, you ready? She goes, yeah, I'm ready. Stop it. And she's like, that doesn't make me feel good. And he goes, stop it. And she goes, yeah, but stop it. Yeah, but stop it. And she's like, wow. She goes, this not only doesn't make me feel good, but I don't think it works. He goes, okay, normally I don't do this extra therapy for people, but I'll do it for you. If you don't stop it, I'm going to make sure you're buried in a box. It's like, she's like, what? If you don't stop this right now, I'm going to bury you in a box alive. We try to make so much out of so much stuff. And it's like, you just got to realize that, it's just, it's these little voices in our head that's going, Corky, you're not doing enough. You got to make it happen faster. You got to do more. You got to learn more. You got to pay more people. You got to do more courses. You got to do more. And I'm telling you, this book says, you got to be more, Corky. Just be more you. Can you be more you?
Yes.
What makes you happy? I love being on these shows and watching people light up. Can you do 2 a day? Can you do 3 a day? Yeah, you want to find out how to get more subscribers, more following, and make more money on your business? Do more. Do more. What do you love more? You know what singers do, Corky, all day?
Sing?
They sing. You know what marathon runners do all day?
Run?
People go, hey, I don't know what to do. What gives you joy? What makes you light up? What would you do forever? Can you tell that if you guys would let me, I probably could do at least a 13-hour Zoom. I think I could, maybe even longer. Craig and a lot of people, my son, have seen me. This is what I love. The more I do this, the more I love it. The more I get downloads for people. And then I cut that off. Why did I stop doing that? Because I started thinking, well, it's really not making a difference, and the stuff I'm teaching people are not doing. And so I don't want them giving me money if they're not going to do it. So I'm going to stop doing what gives me joy. I never thought that the people just liked feeling better being around me, and they didn't know that they would have to do something just to be around me.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I cut that out. I stopped it.
I'll give you a good example of that I consider, of course, you're my mentor, and all of you also, because I got some today from Mary too that was really good, and I appreciate that. So you're all helping me mentor, but I understand now because I have a lot of followers and they come on, and I have it used to be 1,000, 1,500 watching at a time. Now it's 100 to 200, maybe 300 that watch while I'm talking and doing what I do. but now I understand why. It's because it makes them feel better. And that goes right along with, Robert, you're my Santa right now.
Oh,
Because, and I
feel-
think that's why we all show up. And most people that don't, I'm shocked there's not 300 people on here because of pride and ego. I just shared the book with a friend of mine that's been in network marketing a long time. He had a huge success years ago, and he's never caught it back. And now I see why.
yeah.
Now I see why. I mean, I wasn't talking to him. We were texting today. And he says, well, if you ever want to use any of my content, you can. And I wanted to call him and say, what's your bank account look like? Because I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah,
Because
I know people don't like change, but you see it in everything. One of the funniest examples I use is I used to love bowling. There was not much to do in Williston, North Dakota, so I was good at playing pool. I was good at playing darts. I was a great bowler. I was really a good bowler, bowled two leagues, Friday nights was men's scratch. You didn't even get a handicap. Talk about competitive. And it was funny, so I walk away and I'm not doing that anymore. And then all of a sudden I love watching ESPN and I love watching people excel. And they were going like, wow, no one can beat this young kid, from Nebraska. And he walks up and he throws the ball and he doesn't put his fingers or his thumb in the ball. He's got two hands on it and he throws it from the gutter and he takes both hands and he just, so it's all about speed and how many revolution the ball's moving. And I mean, that thing went down all the way to the other gutter and came back and just cleared the pins out. And it's like, no, wait a minute. I was taught that you need to put your thumb in the ball. An average person puts both fingers in the ball. And then the people that are a little smarter that know technology will put their fingertips in the ball. This is the way you bowl. You're either right-handed or left-handed. Who taught this guy? So, after you lose to him, it's a fluke. And then he becomes winner of a lot of tournaments. Then he becomes the world champion. And he's inspiring kids the way you inspired him. So all the new kids are now throwing with two hands with no fingers in the ball. And pretty soon you're just non-existent.
Right.
Like you're the person that wouldn't let go of the old way of doing things. And you just watched your whole life go before your eyes and you just go, all right, so now I'm bowling in the senior tour. And the four people that beat my ass are bowling with two hands. It's like, when did this happen to me? When did my ego and my pride get such in the way that now that I'm older and I could just be a trainer, that everyone goes, you're not going to train me one-handed bowling, are you?
Right.
You're not one of those people that still put all their fingers in the ball, are you? It's like, damn it, I was good. Back in 1992, I was the number one person in the bowling. I'm in the Hall of Fame. Good for you. That doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
So that's where I see a lot of problems with network marketers. They always want to go back, or any kind of marketing. Let's just talk about technology. When did you ever think that the people that made the most money in the media world were podcasters? People that stream. They have hundreds of millions of people watching them on their stream. And they make millions of dollars by people donating. Hey, You like me? Hey, you don't need to be a subscriber. Donate some money. You know what I mean? If you love me going off like an idiot, oh, I'm just being me. By the way, I'm just being me. This gives me joy. I know a lot. Have any of you ever watched some of the things now that people are getting financially rewarded for and just going, what?
Yes. Absolutely crazy.
What? I'm like, what? And it's like, I used to use these, and Melody put on here, I want to acknowledge her. She goes, I remember the 6.5 hour Zooms. well, believe it or not, we're going back to those. We're going back to those. I'm not here to scare you, because you can leave at any time. But, you know, we're moving into the future, and what we're going to do is do what I love to do most, and that's help people get breakthroughs.
Good, because I was going to ask which direction you were going to go, because I know everybody's wanting to, but yeah. I wanted to kind of nail you down.
And I'm not going to wait, you guys. We'll have it figured out by Friday. I'll probably do a short Facebook Live on it on Friday, and then we'll do an Ask Me Anything on Saturday. But there's going to be something scheduled next week, whatever we call it. It's just going to be, you know, most people believe they're stuck.
I get that. I kind of, I'm
most
not
people
feeling like that. Because I see the light at the end of the tunnel, but I feel like I've got everything kind of holding me back, and it's
well, understand this, Corky, so we can move on for today. Is every time you're not feeling excited about what you're doing, you purposely did that with attention of your thoughts. You basically tell the creator and the universe, I'm not smart enough. I'm not enough. I'm not worthy. I'm not good enough. I need to be something different. I need to be like everybody else. Say, when you can say, I'm enough, I'm worthy, I'm deserving, I'm a freaking miracle, man. I'm a weird miracle. And not only am I a miracle, man, the creator intentionally created me for this. I don't need anyone's attaboy. I don't need anyone telling me I'm doing the right thing. I don't need a bunch of people reaching out to me because I don't believe or have the faith that I'm enough, that they can reach out to me and tell me I can make it better. You know, Corky, every time I've been weak in my heart, the other energy, the Darth Vaders of the world, introduced me to my new business partner. And I fall for it. I frickin' fall for it. Because I want to make things happen faster. I want to make them happen quicker. I feel like I can make an impact bigger, quicker, instead of just leaning back and going, you got me, man. You got me to here. I'm just going to let loose, stop trying to create my own garbage, and I'm going to allow you to point me in the direction I need to go. I don't need a business partner. If you talk to Matt, I do this all the time. I'm human, just like every one of you. I'm going, Matt, don't you think we need to do some kind of massive advertisement to get everyone to see? And it's like, Matt's going, we're fine. We're growing faster than what everybody else says we should be growing. Just continue to lean into being you and keep inspiring and helping other people learn to be them.
Amazing.
There's absolutely nothing that AI can take from us. As long as we love, we give love back, and we teach people that they're already enough. You already got this. It's coming. Just keep the focus on the faith and the belief. Keep that vision that you painted me, Corky. Keep that vision. Keep telling that people that vision. Vision inspires success in others now. So they're inspired to hang around you because you're constantly talking about, guess what? You're okay on Misfit Island. I got you. This is where the misfits come. You were already created, and there's a kid out there that wants you.
Misfit.
So
Thank you.
all of us, as we start releasing our visions of what we want to do and know and be, then we're going to attract and be able to support each other. Going, listen, you know, why are you thinking about doing that? Why are you doing that? Why are you listening to this person?
Yeah, but I've always had a vision of walking across the stage at a, $100,000 person or the $250,000 super affiliate. I've had that's in there too.
So
Sorry to go on.
Dana, you got one more second? You got one more minute? Okay. Corky, here we go. Ready?
Yes.
You are outside yourself at your funeral.
Mm-hmm.
What are people saying about you? That was one of the best damn network marketers I've ever met. That's not what I want to be known for.
Right. I get it.
When I leave this planet, I don't think people are going to know what the hell network marketing is. It's changing that fast.
Yes.
Let me take you guys really in the future, really, really quick. All right. What if network marketing is no longer an opportunity because people don't need money? I can't promote opportunities anymore because all the governments finally figure out that, man, we might as well just give them money because we've allowed AI to take all their jobs. We'll go back and just pay them like we did with the pandemic. Why can't we get the younger generations excited about working?
It's true.
I used to say all the time years ago, when the Y generation came out, I don't even know what ages that is. But when I first heard of the Y, or, my son and I going through this, I was thinking, the majority of the people on the planet are looking at their parents and their grandparents and going, why? Why was your whole entire life wrapped around being away from your family, trying to impress people that don't give a shit?
Right.
Why'd you do that? You wasn't around me. You wasn't around mom. You wasn't around people, but you got a freaking watch, man. Really impressive. You guys got a divorce because of money. You now got your pride and your ego trying to stand up and get other people to pay attention to you. Like, why was all that stuff more important than me? One thing that I'm not going to do? I'm not going to do that. So now, if you go on Reddit, people that are the young generations look at network marketing and personal development and goes, what is wrong with these people? You ask them why they do things and they say money. Because it's always for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction.
Yeah.
So one generation is the great generation, the next generation. I know one thing about my generation. We definitely all out-earned our parents.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Now there's a generation that are like, geez, do you really have to sacrifice your health and your relationships with people that you love just to make a bunch of money and have a bunch of cars and have a bunch of homes? That didn't look very smart.
Right.
So now that we see the world changing again, right? We see things happening. So Corky,
I get it.
always just understand that garbage in, garbage out. So Matt and I talk for probably 3 hours a day, and he's helping me do some reprogramming because I got to think about my legacy 5 years and 10 years from now. And he's like, Dad, the stuff that you're thinking about, what if it doesn't exist then? And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? So just open up your heart, Corky. How many people know without a doubt that Corky's in the right space? Yeah. And the visions that, like it said in this chapter, people got to go back to this chapter. Your vision of what your life can be is really going to end up 10 times bigger than that if you allow the flow to happen. How do you know you're in the flow? You know you're in the flow. You're either loving every moment and you're excited about every moment, or you're hating every moment. you know you're hating it as soon as you say, well, is there technology and there's people that are actually, every corporation, Corky, has this in the world. Well, you'll inspire someone that wants to make your vision come true as much as you want to help me make mine come true.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll work for you and know the stuff that you don't know. Mm-hmm. And they're going to do that just because they love you.
Mm-hmm.
That's the people that, hey, I'll do this for you. I'll do this for you. Well, I don't know if I can pay you. Are you kidding me?
It's unbelievable what's happened already.
I'd be embarrassed asking for money for you.
Mm-hmm.
Can you just be Corky? Can you just be Corky and let me make sure to get more people in front of you? That's the vision you got to have. Mm-hmm. Not that you and I need to become someone we're not.
Right.
We just got to lean into who we are. You know the gifts that you have, because when you apply those gifts and you forget about time and you're just being that creative person that God created you to be, magic happens.
It's true. It's fact.
So that's why Bob Proctor had that thing. He was saying, listen, I read a book, I studied this book, and then I had cleaning companies all over the world, and I was making millions of dollars and employed hundreds of people. And people go, how do you do that? And he goes, I don't know. I don't.
Yeah.
Well, because he was studying this book. Stayed in the focus, stayed in the mission, stop trying to. Corky, I'm glad that you brought this up, because I know that it's helped a lot of people. And Matt keeps helping me come back to where I am.
Mm-hmm.
The Robert Hollis that loves people and wants to help people transform into this new economy and this new world, that the stuff that I love sharing with people, helping them get unstuck and getting to believe in themselves and being inspired, that Robert Hollis will be just as popular now as he ever will.
Yes. And I tell you, I guarantee you, this is my whole thing is for once in my life, not once, for this time in my life, because of everything going, because I can get sucked into all that stuff. I don't get sucked in as much anymore. I'm getting sucked in less, which gives me, I'm really excited about the future.
Yeah,
unlike a lot of my friends, because I see really that happening through what you're showing us.
No doubt.
Feel it. I mean, because I mean, I am excited about everything crashing, because I know I'm going to be okay.
Yes.
My family's going to be okay.
You're going to be more okay. The crazier the world gets, the more people are going to look for being authentic.
Yes.
That's what's going to change the world. To change the world is people are going to start saying, I need to find people that are just who they are, and they can teach me how to be just the way I am.
Yes.
That's okay. And I can accomplish anything through doing that. I'll leave you with this, Corky, and my old trainings that we're going to be bringing back to breakthroughs. I love watching 60 Minutes because it's one of the very few, I'm not 60 Minutes, Good Morning America, Good Morning Sunday Morning. It is still one of those places that do a bunch of positive stuff. And I just remember one time where they did a report on this guy that made a full-time income sharpening pencils.
Really?
And people all over the world, Corky, would send him pencils for him to sharpen. He would sharpen the pencil, put it in this plastic container so it wouldn't move, so the tip wouldn't get hurt. And he made a full-time income sharpening pencils. So what would you say about a person like that? Why do you love sharpening pencils? There's absolutely nothing in the world that I found that makes me feel like this.
Right.
So when you take the stupidest things and you go, wait a minute, so this guy, how did he tell everyone and everyone who wants to send their pencil to someone to have it sharpened? I don't know. See what I mean? So when you run into people that have that crazy of a purpose, a vision, and I just want to be the best damn pencil sharpener on the planet. And then you're going like, where's there a need for that? And so the other one I used to bring up all the time is I'll draw a cat for you today.
Yeah.
You know, so this guy shows up on Shark Tank and he gets a billionaire to buy into his idea. So he'll draw a stick cat for you. I'll draw a cat for you today. I'll draw a cat for you today. They're going, how do you make money? And he says, well, I got a full-time job, so I make most of the drawings while I'm sitting on the toilet doing my other business. and they're going, well, how many? He says, oh, I'm backloaded. I got thousands of people that are waiting for me to draw a stick cat. And so I could teach other people how to draw stick cats. I'm sitting there going, what? And if you guys went on Google right now and put in, I want to draw a cat for you today, the guy's still making money drawing stick cats. And he's in so much demand that if you wanted a cat drawn for you, you got to schedule it months away for him to have enough time to draw a cat for you. So I hope I gave you guys two examples that I don't know how really stupid you think your idea is. It's not stupid for the audience that wants it.
It's true.
Because there's probably that guy today, and I'll leave it at this. I keep saying that. I bet you these people right now could do streams, do video streams of them sharpening pencils. And they would have, wait a minute, I'm watching this guy sharpen a pencil. I'm not interested in, so when you hear Mr. Beast, when Matt told me this, I just went, are you serious? He goes, oh, these guys, these streamers, they make millions and millions and millions of dollars. Well, what do? I hear Kyle in his room laughing his butt off. Sounds like, and I go, what are you doing? I'm watching a streamer watch a YouTube video. You're watching someone watch a YouTube video. Oh, Dad, man, if you heard the comments that these people said and you see what people are saying on stream and putting on chat while they're watching this YouTube video, my son's laughing during the president inauguration. I'm not being disrespectful here. My son is laughing. And I'm walking in and I knock on a door and I said, what were you laughing about? He says, a bunch of streamers was watching the presidential inauguration and they were just making comments. And the other 10 million people that they had on the stream was also making comments. And you can make millions of dollars a year by doing this? Are you guys like, I'm blown away. Mr. Beast started by going, I think that other people in the world would like me, watch me play a video game. Well, that sounds stupid. No, why do you think it's stupid? Well, because I wouldn't have time because I'm watching someone play basketball. I'm watching someone play football. I'm watching someone race cars. It's stupid to watch someone playing a video game. Yeah, maybe for you. But people love watching the best be the best. And so these kids are watching these guys dominate a video game. And they're watching and they're learning. Oh, so that's how he fights them. Oh, that's what he does. That's how he's doing. And they get inspired that maybe one day they could be like them. So that's how Mr. Beast started out before he started making $4 million a month from his YouTube. And oh, by the way, there's 60% of the people that think this guy's a nutcase. Don't ever forget that. Whatever your dream is, just know there's 66% of the people out there that think you're out of your freaking mind. They don't understand. Doesn't this guy understand that Santa's not real? And Santa's only for a season? What doesn't this guy get? Well, they don't get that people love to watch you inspire them and make them imagine and make them feel good. So I love you, Corky.
Love you too. Thank you so much. If you want to watch me, I'm on every day on TikTok. Santa Corky right there. I usually go on after this, but I have to run to the store to grab some. I thought I'd get off early, but I'm normally on this time. And,
all right. No problem. No problem.
Carmen's in here too. So
we're going to close out with Dana. I seen Carmen on here. Yeah.
Yeah. She helps me a
lot.
Love you. Thank you, Carmen, for helping Corky.
Thank you, Carmen. And thank you, Corky, very much.
Yes.
Appreciate you. Before, Robert, you inspired me to do this a long time ago. And I want to share this. And there's a reason why I'm close up right now, because it's something that I printed. And if you can read that.
Yes.
I am enough. I have that in front of me, and it helps me so much. So bless you and thank you for that.
And since I've known Craig now does a lot of acting. He does a lot. He does a lot of, plays and gets casted in plays and stuff, because Craig was sick and tired of believing that he needed a bunch of stuff to be an actor. He knew he was enough. He knew he was an actor, and then he started getting parts. So it's weird how that happens.
Yeah.
So thank you for always helping me, Craig.
Bless you and thank you.
You bet.
Corky, I'm sorry. Thank you, Corky. Dana. Dr. Dana, wow. Your patience is incredible. Thank you so much. I see that the path is already there behind you for us to follow. So please lead us on and be the professor that you are. Unmute yourself and please share with us.
Well, you betcha. Well, thank you, Craig. Thank you, Robert. Yeah, I put that thing up there so you can see the one step across the bridge to your future requires that one thing, the one step. So you got to be able to take a step forward before you can possibly enjoy the next step. So anyway, that was just kind of what I threw that up for. There are a lot of very insightful and powerful comments and dialogue that went on here. And so some of this might seem a little redundant because I made these notes and then lo and behold, out they came. But that's really a sign that this book is sunk in. That Robert has done a really good job of activating people's thoughts and really starting to see through what this book says. But if you go through this last chapter, paragraph by paragraph, obviously he's summarizing some of the things that are most important. Well, right at the very top, he mentions scoffers. We live in a world of scoffers. Scoffers, somebody who they're cynics. They don't believe it. What they believe is what they believe, and everything else can't possibly be true. So how do we handle that? Well, he gives us the formula, and Robert has demonstrated the formula time and time again. And it's really that person has to be willing to consider that there's something that can bring them an emotion that they want that they don't have. We'll call that joy. We've talked about that. They have to be ready to hear it. You can't make them ready. What you can do is share the book, share the philosophy, share the YouTube channel, or whatever, to give them the opportunity to consider there might be something that will help them. Whether they actually take advantage of it or not, that's not your role. You have the privilege of introducing them, the scoffer, so that they can turn their cynicism into a shred of hope, which migrates to belief. So that's observation number one, right up there at the very top. A scoffer is an opportunity. It is not your life. So that's number one. It implies, of course, that they have to consider the possibility of truth, but that's up to them to find it. It's up to you to set them on a path of considering it. So that's first thing I wanted to share. And what was mentioned, I think John stated that, you got to participate in your own rescue. That's something Robert said in the past. So you throw them a rope, you can stand there and hold the rope, but you can't jump in with them and put the rope around them, because then you're toast. So, yeah. Now, the other thing that he talks about is in the age-old era of the early part of the 20th century, governments keeping people in poverty. Well, that's a pretty powerful statement, those evil governments keeping people in poverty. And as was also said, I think John said it, we are seeing a repeat of history. Different way, different form. But today, let's take the word government out of it and replace that with the institutions of society. Now, this can be government, but it can be social media, entertainment media, sports media, you name it. It can be schools, it can be religions.
Yeah.
It can be anything that seeks to grasp control of your attention, your mind, and your soul, such that they can make sure that through fear, uncertainty, and doubt, that you aren't enough, that you don't feel enough, that the only way that you can be enough is to comply with whatever it is they're trying to push you towards, to influence you to think or do. And the information that we're subject to today is so dense, and it comes at us so quickly, that the common average person has completely lost track of how to find truth.
Right.
So here in this little book, you can't see my little book because it's disappeared along the path there. We have an opportunity to share a simple truth, simple truths that have proven to work, and directing them to this course, this dialogue, to give them an opportunity to see that there is a truth. But it's taken away all that noise. Begins with you. We have the privilege of sharing the possibility of eradicating confusion and noise with a simple idea. They have to have the idea that there's something better than what they've got, which is saturation in the noise of fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Marketing has weaponized that. Way, way, way back in my early introduction to marketing as an engineer, when I made the transition out of the engineering into the product management part of the company, the VP that hired me into that role said, I want you to understand a 3-letter acronym, FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. That's our weapon. It is still used today, but it's been advanced and weaponized to the point where now we're immersed in it everywhere. So now we have an opportunity. That enables us to find a way to help them lose the fear, the uncertainty, and the doubt by introducing them to a formula, to a science, and allowing them the possibility of considering there's another way. That's what Robert's done so effectively. That's his secret. It is so simple that most people, let's say that Robert's secret is a penny on a trail. Now, just across from that penny are shiny objects. There's a $47 course. There's a guru. There's an algorithm. There's a method. And I promise you that if you buy this thing, you're going to explode your business. I'm going to teach you how to turn AI into an immediate success in network marketing. I bet you saw that today.
Oh my God.
Okay. But they step over the penny. If they were to pick up the penny, they'd see below it is a nugget of gold. It's the truth. It's a simple book, a simple science, a simple philosophy with a simple proof behind it. People who have actually freaking done it. It is so simple that people will not consider it to be true.
Yeah.
So you lead them to the truth by showing them the simplicity, and it's going to take a while, I believe, for it to sink in, and probably a whole bunch of $47 courses. But so that's one thing I wanted to share in the simplicity that you have.
Don't forget the 47 and the 27 before the 47.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, but wait, there's more. So anyway, there's just so many things, and the kingdom. Let's talk about that for just a moment, and then I'm going to kind of move on here.
Please.
The kingdom that we get to be part of is the supreme, the heavens, the thing, whatever you want to call it out there. What is universally true is it lives its life through us. The kingdom beyond is what we do today. And so to live in that kingdom beyond is to service others, to allow them to live a greater life, to, as he says, to deliver increasing life. That's how you move to the kingdom beyond. That's how you advance it. By advancing the lives of others. Because if everybody sits around in despair, that's just a whole bunch of negative energy that doesn't do anything but suck people into it.
Right.
But one person feeling better becomes another person, and that joy, that happiness. The only way you can do that is to, package Robert's giggle, add water, and paste it on the next guy you meet. And then, of course, you got Santa prepared. You see, all these things are joy pills. Santa, Robert's giggle, Craig's instant recall of great movies. These are all things. Everybody has a tool. And this book is telling you to believe in your tool, understand the science, develop your personal vision and purpose of who you are and where you want to go. Live it daily in your mind, live it in your actions, live it in how you interact with other people. It's you. You are the individual, like Robert just admonished Corky to believe. You're in the zone.
Yeah.
This book is telling you, live your zone. Don't go out there and buy a $47 course to be somebody else. That ain't going to work. All that's going to do is lead you to being that person who is probably miserable. You don't have to be that person. Be yourself. Follow the certain way. Because this certain way works for everything. It's not just about money. It works for relationships. It works for your health. It works for advancing, your community. It's all about belief and action. So, and then finally, the last thing I'm going to go into here is the thing that is so very important. Guard your thoughts, your speech, your actions, and the subtleties, because we live in a world that is immersed in negativity. I mean, we are just surrounded with it. It's been weaponized, it's proving effective, and they're sucking people in, and people are becoming confused and lost and despondent. Don't be part of that. Be aware that it's all around you. And it's so easy to get immersed in it and not even know you're drowning, because it's just become the culture. And because of that, you stand out when you don't participate in that. Your thoughts, your speech, your actions. Here's another one. When somebody's complaining and grousing, uttering the negativities, they don't know they're doing it necessarily. Don't affirm. Don't say, yeah, you're right, or oh boy, isn't that just the truth? Silence is better than a negative affirmation or an intelligent question. I don't know what question you ask. That's something to start noodling around. What question can you use to disengage somebody, like, a pattern interrupt? Say, unicorn. Uh-huh. Where? I just thought I'd pull you out of the hole you're in. But no, anyway, to be very aware, we've used the word awareness here today. We live in a world that we've got to be keenly aware of what it's doing to our thoughts, our soul, and to others. What are we doing for others? What is the world doing for us? All these negativities, what is it in? We're going to say what's in it for us, but what it really is what is it doing for me that I can now do for somebody else? There's a reservoir of this energy out there. We got to be able to mine it. We might as well make good use of it and help one more person plant the seed. We plant a seed, we can't water it for them. So anyway, that was kind of my abbreviated input for today. And I want to thank Robert for leading us through this, and Craig for emceeing this, and everybody for talking and injecting their thoughts and ideas. We got one more chapter, and that's the one where basically you're going to go through and you're going to recite the entire law.
Yep.
And from there, it's time to reread the book. Now, I'll share one more thing. In the musician world, one of the things that I did a while ago to get my head out of performance anxiety is when I practiced, I'd read the music backwards. So I'd start at the end of the song and read all the notes backwards in head as far as I could go. Well, in this particular case, we have this law that's going to be recited to us in the next chapter. I would suggest, just for giggles, you might want to read, after you read it top to bottom, read it bottom to top, and then read the book the other direction. I'm not saying read it backwards, but read chapters. Start at the last chapter and move to the front. Because when you do that, you've just been admonished about what is important. And now if you move back through, it's going to be a different way of thinking, but a lot of kind of moments will appear. Well, at least for me, I do things backwards, apparently.
Totally.
So that's it. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Dana. And wow, again, Dana's so great at being able to, again, summarize the summary, but to hit the high notes on the stuff. The one thing I wish that people would think about, sometimes and this will sound insulting, but I want to embrace it. It's to one day just realize that the world took the little child out of you. The world took the little child out of you. Imagine if you've ever seen this. Just tell me if you've seen this. A kid's telling another kid something that he doesn't want to hear. And it's la, 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 la. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. La, la. Man, for those of you that have negative people in your life, do that. Do that. And they're like, what the hell is wrong with this person? But they'll stop being negative to you. And some of you are going, I don't know if I have the courage to do that. See, do you notice that in that little example, did the kid say that the other kid was wrong? No. Did the kid say to the other kid, you're being mean, you're stupid, you're ugly? No names were being called. No judgment. I am not listening to you right now. See, people want to go, listen, you're wrong. You're saying the wrong thing. You're uneducated. You don't know. They want to get in an argument. They want to get in a debate. Simple children go, I'm not listening to you. And so it's this thing that we can do to ourselves. When the Dino goes off, oh, hell no. No. I got free will. I'm choosing to believe that I'm okay. I'm not going to worry. I'm not going to allow my mind to go off. And you just want to do that. Now, here's something that I think just is fascinating to me. Got this while Dana was doing this. Other than the kid thing, right? Everyone be honest. All right. How many of you have ever experienced or currently experience not so much energy every day? Like, man, I just don't have the energy. That's listening to propaganda. Of course you're not sleeping good. I have something for you. I have something for you. Did you have a bad night's sleep? I have something for you. I have something for you. Did you wake up feeling not like you got to sleep? Oh my God, I got some Red Bull for you. I got an energy drink. Yeah, you need to wait in line at Starbucks. I don't give a crap if you're late for work. Make sure you stop at Starbucks and get yourself some energy. So when people go, man, I just don't have any energy. And I'm going like, programming done. That program slipped in there and you're like, oh my God, I'm just always, I don't get enough sleep. I'm always, God, I don't have enough energy. I don't know if I need a nap. I just don't. So how many times has your spirit, your soul, your body, and your mind heard this bullshit? Man, this one went a long time. I just don't have the energy. And then you see crazy shirted me. I don't use that. I don't use that. How many people think that I have coffee during the day? No. Everyone always says to me, oh my God, it's getting late. I'm going, I guess you're going to bed. I guess my work is done. It's like, if we just realize the most important things in life, you don't have what you need. But I have something that you need. Just think about that one programming. You're not happy enough. You don't get enough sleep. You don't have the right nutrition. What other things are programmed in you? Other than the obvious, is that we need someone's help. You can't do this on your own. Are you out of your mind? You need help. Boy, do I ever need help. I go to therapy a couple times a month. If there's anyone that needs help, it's frickin' me, man. I'm telling you, I need some help. I got a pill for you, help you with that depression. How many of you still think that you need stuff? Because that's the opposite of I'm enough. The opposite of I'm enough, that I'm worthy. I have everything that I already need. You're walking on air because your future's so bright you need fucking shades. It's like there's people that are walking from miracle to miracle, to win, to win, to win, to win, and you don't. When are you going to change it? And people say to me all the time, Robert, listen, it's not that easy. The only reason you won't change that mentality and that programming is because you've already found a way to get rewarded for the behavior and the way you're acting now. Have you guys ever heard of a placebo effect? Do you know what placebo effect has in common? It works in every drug. Every drug that was ever created had a placebo effect, where one pill they gave you, or one liquid that you ate, or one shot that you ate had nothing. And 16% or more go, I got the cure. I'm now. It would be weird if that was 0.5%. But where's those numbers again? So there's half of the people that believe that they got the right one, that they got the right shot, that they got the right pill. Switch that switch. Cancer free. Cancer free. I really appreciate that. You know, they gave me 99% chance of dying, but I got on this experimental drug and I'm cancer free now. Let's do some scans. Oh my God, you are cancer free. See, told you. We got one other thing to tell you. What? You were on the placebo. I'm dead now. I'm dead. Couple of months later, cancer's back. Was worse than it was before. Person's gone. Yeah, that's where I'll leave that right there. And we've all heard of it. Have any of you guys heard anyone miraculously cured? It's yeah, you either believe that there's miracles or not. So I believe you're a miracle. And we'll see you on tomorrow's chapter. Back to you, Craig.
Oh, wow. Raise your hand if you thought that, I mean, this day was amazing. So grateful that you were here to witness this, to be a part of it. Thank you so very much, Robert. And thank you for joining us and participating. Some thank yous to go out before we wrap up everything. Mary Martyr, Bill Shoemaker, John Tier, Dana Scranton, Corky Kinter. I also want to shout out to Anthony Lombardo. I missed him yesterday. So Anthony, you are thought of. Thank you very much for your submission from yesterday. We appreciate it. And thank you to Matthew for putting this all together, our foundation, our support. Matthew, bless you. And thank you so very, very much. And Robert, oh my gosh, we've all made it almost through this whole mastering of the science of getting rich. And tomorrow, as Dana said, tomorrow, chapter 17, the final chapter of the science of getting rich, the summary of the science of getting rich. You're going to want to be here to see it, to experience it, to watch it. If you've liked this on YouTube, if you've liked this, please like the video, share the video, subscribe to our channel. Lots more great things coming up. We love you. We appreciate you. Thank you again. Please, as I unmute everybody, be good to yourself, be cash, and bye for now. There we go.
Thank you, family. Love you all. Woo-hoo.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bless.
Everybody. Thank you, everybody.
Hey,
Thank you. Hey, John.
Bill, Mary,
Blessings,
Hey,
everyone.
James, Michael. Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Michael. Thank you,
Have a
Karen.
wonderfully blessed
Thanks,
evening,
Craig.
y'all.
Thanks, Dad.
Arthur.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Matthew.
everybody.
Al, Rebecca,
Okay, you guys.
Fun.
Have a
John,
wonderfully blessed evening, y'all.
Karen.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks, Robert.
Thank you, Carmen. Thank you, Danielle. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you,
Have a blessed
Uzi,
evening,
John.
y'all.
I think I got everyone. Thank you, Matthew.
Julio.
All right. Love you.